The path of the downed aviator is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of camaraderie and duty, shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness.
Fake Christian is quoting a movie, not the Bible, and it's insanely embarrassing. Let's take a look.
For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother. And you will know my call sign is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
So, Cenk, it turns out that that wasn't actually a prayer from the Bible. It is a prayer from someplace else that some would argue isn't really holy, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, your 2 cents.
Yeah, so this guy's an idiot, and he thinks that if you just act tough and you quote movies, thinking it's the Bible, that'll make you a good Christian and a tough guy. I don't believe Pete Hegseth would do anything but urinate all over himself if he was in a real fight. That's how weak men talk. But okay, tell us the facts, Hannah.
Okay, so some of you might have already caught on to this, but for those who don't know, for those who aren't Christians or have really been steeped in reading the Bible, understanding the Bible, here's how Mediaite clarifies what's going on here. While the prayer didn't sound very much like Ezekiel 25:17, which in the King James Bible simply reads, "And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them." It did bear a strong resemblance to a fake version of Ezekiel quoted by Samuel Jackson in Tarantino's Pulp Fiction just before his character shoots a man to death. And the Pulp Fiction prayer, this is how it reads. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children, and I will strike down upon thee. Okay, now let's take a listen to what Hegseth said during his praying.
The path of the downed aviator is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of camaraderie and duty, shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother. And you will know my call sign is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
That sounds a lot like the Pulp Fiction, scene. And Samuel L. Jackson is the person who was reading it or saying it before he killed someone. So, Cenk, back to you.
Yeah, he pretended that that's a prayer that another military guy was giving before they went to go rescue the pilots. Just made it all up, and he made it up from a movie. God, he's so pathetically dumb. And then Jesus said, "There is no spoon." No, bro, that was Neo. Oh God. And then the Lord said, "Luke, I am your father." No. Okay, no. I mean, it's so embarrassing. He's our Secretary of Defense. He doesn't know anything about military strategy. He doesn't know anything about defense. He renamed himself the Secretary of War when Trump ran an anti-war campaign. And then this moron didn't realize that Iran might close the Strait of Hormuz. Oops, they did. And now it endangers the entire global economy. This moron didn't know that they would attack our bases in the Gulf, and they did, killing a lot of Americans. He did not prepare for it. They did not have adequate defenses. Instead, Pete Hegseth spent all of our defenses protecting Israel, a different country, while our guys died. I don't know if he was in the middle of watching Braveheart at that point or Gladiator, But you're supposed to hire people who are qualified for the job in case we go to war. Instead, we hired a baboon who was a weekend host at Fox News. Now, he couldn't even make the A team of Fox News. And Trump's like, I like the baboon on TV. Let's go with him. He's on essential casting. Like, I think Trump is trying to imitate Rodney Dangerfield as Hegseth is trying to imitate Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. It's just embarrassing. And it really, look, for devout Christians, how could it not feel like you're kind of under attack right now? Like the government's making a mockery of your faith, and it's just absolutely pathetic.
Don't forget, Noble Mobile saving you a ton of money. So a lot of people are signing up now and beginning to realize, what the hell, why am I paying so much to Verizon and AT&T? So your bill's only $50 a month, but it can actually be less because they give you money back if you don't use your data. So if you're paying more than $50, there's no reason to not switch. It's crazy not to switch because same phone, same number, same contacts, literally nothing changes. TYT.com/switch, TYT.com/switch. All right, we'll be right back. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.